I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another Sunday video. My name is Hannah. Congratulations on making it through the third week of staying salty. I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really proud of us. Proud of the world. If you hear noises, it's my dog. He's in his crate right now and he doesn't want to be, but if I let him run around the room, then he'll just eat everything and I won't be able to film the video. So this week's topic is missing school, and honestly you can't really talk to much more of a pro than me when it comes to that. Sips tea. Now the brunt of my missing schoolness happened / is happening in college. I go to the University of Michigan and I'm a junior studying English now, and this is the sickest point in my life thus far, and this is when I am missing the most school than I ever have. But I have another YouTube channel. Casper, please be quiet. But I have another YouTube channel called Hannah Breathes. I will link it right here, I think, for you guys to click on if you want to. And I actually have a whole playlist on that channel about going to college with cystic fibrosis. And my last YouTube video on that channel was about missing college with CF. So if you want to watch that, you can. And today I'm going to be talking more about late elementary school, middle school, and high school. And this is a story time video, not a tips video, so that's fun. Oh, but I didn't even mention this, but the first day of school for me was actually this last Tuesday, and I actually went into the ER on Tuesday and stayed there until Thursday and missed my first week of school. So it's very fitting that we're filming this video right now. Now, I didn't really start to get sick a lot until about the 5th grade is when my CF started kicking in, but I remember one time I had like a croup cough, like a barking kind of seal cough, probably in around like the 3rd grade, and my parents, I didn't go home for it because I'm a boss, but my parents had to, my dad specifically brought in my nebulizer so that I could do whatever nebulized medication you do when you have a croup cough. I do that a lot on my other channel, so if you don't like that, then don't go on my other channel. And while all the other kids were having like indoor recess / reading time / whatever, I was sitting in the corner at this little table with my dad, who is 6'3" and like basically a giant, and doing my breathing treatment with my fish mask, because you remember how like little kids, and some adults, but like mostly little kids, wear the mask when they do nebulizers because their parents don't trust them to hold it the whole time to their face. Yeah, so I was wearing a fish mask and smoke was billowing out, and after my dad left, a girl told me she thought I was dying. So that wasn't a missing school story, but I just thought I'd like to share. The first time I ever went to the hospital after my initial diagnosis, which is when I was 5, was when I was 12, I think. I was in the 5th grade. And, you know, early grade school teachers are totally understanding usually, so it's not gonna be like you go to the hospital for 2 weeks, you come back and you flunked spelling and you have to repeat the 5th grade. That's not usually gonna be how it goes down. And my 5th grade teacher was really cool anyway. But I came back after my 2-week first hospital stay, and it was like, I was really scared, you know? It was my first time that I could basically remember being in the hospital, and it was really emotionally taxing. I had been in a lot of pain. I had never gotten a PICC line that I remember, you know? And I got out of the hospital on a Friday, and instead of just going home that day and going back to school on Monday, I decided with my mom to go to school on that Friday, pick up my work, and leave so that I could start out on the weekend. And I walked into the classroom and everybody just like exploded because they were so happy to see me, and that was like such a good feeling. And I still remember it and think about it from time to time, which is weird because it happened like almost 10 years ago. Wow, that's really weird. But yeah, everyone jumped out of their seats and hugged me, and they were like so happy that I was back, and the teacher was like, okay, everybody sit down, but like no one was listening. Made my way over to my desk, and there was just like heaps and heaps and heaps of papers on it, which was kind of overwhelming as a 12-year-old, but it's fine. Oh, I just remembered another story. Oh my god, this one's funny. Okay, so I just got out of clinic. My clinic was every Monday, my cystic fibrosis clinic, and they're like, dude, you're sick, you're gonna go to the hospital. And I was like, okay, can I go home and pack first? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, cool. So I went home from clinic, packed all my stuff, and then went back to school just to make rounds to my teachers and tell them in person that I was about to be gone for the next 2 weeks. I was in home economics class at the time, which is basically half of the time you do sewing and half of the time you do cooking. It's the only class I ever got an A- in middle school, so that says a lot about me as a woman. But I walked in, and this was so awkward. And I walked into the class, and there was a different class than mine in there at the time, so I didn't know any of those kids. And I motioned over to my teacher. Her name was Mrs. Adams. Mrs. Adams? Excuse me? And she was like, yes, what do you need? And I was like, can I talk to you? I didn't want to be like, yeah, I have this, everyone knew I had cystic fibrosis, but I didn't want to be like, yeah, I have really bad pneumonia, all over my lungs, in both of my lungs, and I have to go to the hospital for 2 weeks. And I just didn't want to explain it in front of everybody. So she was just standing there as I was trying to motion her to come out in the hallway all my other teachers did, but she just wasn't catching on. And after, I swear, it was 30, no, that was an exaggeration. After 10 seconds of me being can I have to talk, it's private, she goes, oh, and she pulls me, she goes, I'm coming, and she pulls me into her office, closes the door. All the kids are craning their necks to stare through the window to her office in the classroom to see what's going on. She pulls open a huge drawer and she goes, what do you need? And what's in the drawer? Pads, tampons, and just all feminine supplies, which is fine. I totally appreciate it. I don't period shame. I'm not afraid to talk about periods. They're totally natural. And she's rifling through them. But back then, I was a modest son of a gun, and that just shook me. I was so freaking embarrassed, you guys. I was so embarrassed. And I was like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And then I explained it to her, and she was like, oh, okay. You can leave now. I was like, okay, bye. Do I have any other stories? Oh, I'll end on a cute one. The first dance in middle school or high school, anything, that I was ever dating someone for, so I ever had a cute date to go to with, was my junior year homecoming. And so it was in October, and I got admitted to the hospital 5 days before that homecoming. And this made me really sad because my whole life I had been so excited to have a boyfriend. I'm a dancer, so I was really excited to dance with him at the dance. And I had ordered a dress online, nothing crazy. It was a casual dress, but I ordered it online and I was just basically really excited. And I was in the hospital and I wasn't gonna get to go. But then I was like, no, this is dumb. I'm gonna go anyway. So I did. My dress was white on the top and navy blue on the bottom. So I had my mom bring me to the hospital a pair of navy blue tall soccer socks, and I cut them in half and pulled it over my arm to cover up my PICC line. Okay, so I wore a soccer sock on my arm, and I got a note of leave from my doctor who said I could leave the hospital for about, I don't know, maybe 6 hours. And my mom drove me home. I got ready at home and I went to the homecoming dance, and then I got driven back to the hospital that night, and then I passed out, and it was really fun. The part that baffles me though is that I forgot to just cut off my hospital bracelet. They can give you new ones, so I wore that the whole night. I don't know why. Sometimes I'm not that smart. I'm smart, but not all the time. So there you go. Those are some little mini story times from just a few of the seemingly hundreds of instances of times where I missed school growing up. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so excited that we hit 200 subscribers on this channel. Hopefully next week I look a little cuter than this. Not trying to bash myself, but I could do a little better. Please like this video, comment down below, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you can see Miranda for the first day of week 4 tomorrow. See ya.